Insert music here. Dun 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 dun.
Dun dun. No, 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 no.
Awkward silence.
Okay, that was a little unnecessary.
Yeah, it was. Just go with the first few, like the Killer Queen, just the piano part of Killer Queen. Dun 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 dun. Hello. This is an incredibly awkward podcast, episode number 21. Isn't that right, Reggie Ruler?
Yes, it is, although I can't count past 20.
These numbers have just gone into the void. It's
Probably
also
just-
awkward, isn't it, C. Kohler?
Hopefully not too awkward. We'll
You're
see.
going to work some of your magic.
Yeah, we'll see if we can spice this show up.
C. Kohler is keeping the seat warm for Seda while he's handling that business.
So he might be back, you said in October.
He gave me, he said I should be ready to record the first podcast in October.
Okay.
Is he getting cybernetic voice implants?
No, I assume he's finding a job.
Well, good for him.
That'll be just a few days before I move into my new apartment.
Oh, cool.
I'm stuck in the top floor of a townhouse right now, and so...
I'm on the top floor of my dorm, but it has a sink, so I don't need to leave the room.
Great! You can just poop and vomit into that sink. No, seriously, whenever like a bathroom thread on NeoGAF comes up and people are like, "Oh yeah, I peed in my sink," it's like, well, aren't you just a fucking savage?
The remainder part of that post needs to be when I was 6.
And then people are like, I poop in the shower and just stamp it down the drain like a fucking animal.
I like that picture they always post where it shows like when NeoGAF talks about games and it shows people like fighting over each other, and it's like when NeoGAF talks about toilets and it's like everybody like United Nations around a big table.
How do that was porn?
Well, I think it is both, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, straight into the block this week because there was no goodie. I mean, DeMarco would probably love to tell us that the repeating guitar riff music video was the goodie, but nobody buys it.
Yeah.
At least it wasn't weird.
And there's no news this week, huh?
I
can't think of anything.
Bleach ended.
Oh, we should probably talk about that. I mean, I don't listen. Maybe not do any spoilers or anything, but yeah, I saw that the manga is
spoilers.
Over.
It's bad.
Eh.
There's also like you could fill an entire piece of paper with the completely just dropped plot threads because the series was essentially canceled.
I looked at it. I looked at the issue because again I don't read it, but I was like, oh, okay, I'll just check out the final issue just because whatever. And it had a real kind of abruptness to it. Like it kind of felt to me like maybe he was like, well, I better whip this up real quick because I wasn't expecting it to end.
That is exactly what happened.
I think so. I mean, it's not. I don't, everybody's saying it's terrible. I don't know if it's terrible. It's just sort of like, oh, that's it? Okay.
Like, I was in my first goddamn year of college when that arc started.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm pretty sure I was.
Dude is a king of, like, makes One Piece look fast.
I mean, I can't believe he actually gave an interview where he said, oh, yeah, when I have writer's block, I just invent new characters. Then you look at the final arc and it's like, I just invented a fucking character for every letter of the alphabet. Which is literally what he did.
Yeah, and somebody posted a list of like all these character names, and it was the most hilarious like mix of awkward sounds I've ever heard.
The legendary Najakoop. And a guy named Robert.
That sounds like what Yu-Gi-Oh did with its numbers, except Bleach made the mistake of making them actual characters instead of just plot points.
Like, I know nothing about Yu-Gi-Oh, probably past. Well, certainly past the first series, but...
I mean, they're having a collection of things based on a series can be kind of cool as long as they're just things to collect, not a full set of filler characters. It's just, okay, I have the complete collection. It's not, I have to be spend an episode talking about each little character, letter of the alphabet.
Like, oh man, I got my premium Najakoop figure right here. It's worth negative money. I have to pay to dispose of it. Like you go to the retail shop in Animal Crossing and the sheep is just like, oh man, this figure, huh? You're gonna have to pay me to dispose of this one. Like along with your like rotted fruit and fake paintings.
It is kind of the end of an era, though, I guess. Somebody was talking about how, like, they used to, oh, yeah, the big 3 or the big 4 manga you'd always read every week, and I guess this is one of them that's gone now.
I believe that was me.
Oh, was it? Oh.
And, I mean, now it's just down to One Piece.
Yeah. Really? Well, you're not reading the sequel to Naruto?
No.
Well, that ended.
It did really? End.
Oh, I thought that was still happening or something.
I feel like he's just working himself up to just make another weekly series in the Naruto universe.
Yeah, but the current manga as it is still ended, so it counts.
Oh, yeah, real Naruto ended. But then there's like this spin-off series.
And then there's the shuffling corpse that is Shippuden.
Oh, the TV show, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, we know that Shippuden will probably outlast Toonami, but I want to know if that Shippuden will actually end before Toonami.
Probably.
Like
you mean in Japan?
Like I'm actually wondering if Toonami will end again, and we still will have no ending to Shippuden in Japan.
Oh, who knows? I mean,
I thought they were starting the final arc.
And then they did more filler.
Oh, Lord.
Well, for what it's worth, though, it's not like One Piece where like they're still making it. So I guess it's possible they could wrap it up. But I do agree that it'll probably be like another 2 years.
That is the most preposterous ending to a show ever. Like, holy shit.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about, so don't say.
No, I'm just talking about just the fact that Shippuden is still going.
Oh, just the fact that they keep like finding ways to extend it. Yeah.
We haven't fucked this chicken hard enough.
Like, let's have an.
They want to do the filler marathon that the original Naruto ended on.
What was that? I don't remember.
Like the 80 something episodes of straight filler to end original Naruto.
I think the Bug Forest was partial filler. I think they actually no. Well, they used the costume for a few video games. That's about it.
Jeez, the legendary Naruto filler. Oh well. That's all to say about that. Right?
Yeah. Adios, Bleach.
Adios, Bleach. You were certainly a thing. We had some fun laughing at you.
I'll never forget that guy. What was the last boss guys in the final of the anime?
Aizen. Or no, Genjo.
Genjo. I'll never forget that picture of Genjo and his goofy smile.
The one that's perfectly symmetric?
Yeah. Awesome picture.
You were actually kind of good when you were, like, just stupid spirit detective stuff. And then you had kind of one really alright long shonen arc. And then you were just shit forever.
Was the arc with Aizen actually good? I've never actually seen it.
No.
Well, I saw part of it, and I don't know if it was good or not, because I actually didn't know much about Bleach when I watched it, but I kind of was like, okay, this is goofy or whatever. I wasn't into it because it was just so weird. And the thing about Bleach was that they had made up so many words for things that don't exist that I couldn't follow it. It was like, oh, you're Bakatso or whatever, and I was like, what are they talking about? But the thing I do remember was that people said that the Aizen battle or arc or whatever should have been where the series ended.
Yes.
Yeah, and then I guess they just kept going.
Yeah. They just kept going. Dragon Ball Z Kai, Episode 83, Cell invades the airwaves, announcing the Cell games. So, this episode's pretty funny, I think.
Yeah, it's a weird episode. Is it supposed to be funny?
I think so. I would hope so.
Like, the scene of him just coming up underneath that like, yoga instructor it just has to be intentional.
Yeah.
Well, something is rising.
Because he was really kind of almost mugging a bit at the camera and stuff. He's like, "Hey, I'm on TV."
Like, if we had this Cell the entire time, I might have enjoyed the arc more.
So I got a question about this. So is Cell's purpose now to just show off? Like, is that his goal in life?
His previous goal was to become perfect.
Well,
He's now perfect.
But he did
now
say...
he's just like, I'm just going to fuck it. I'm just going to fuck around.
Didn't he say, though, that it was like, my original objective was to kill Goku? And now, but then he said, like, but I'm over that now.
I'm perfect.
16 must have gone through the same thing.
Yeah.
16's just got a head full of birds.
Nail.
He loves,
yeah.
Well, not just birds now. Now he likes little kitty cats, too.
Now this is in a, kind of a ironic twist, this episode and the Team 4-Star episode that covers the entire episode came out just 3 days apart.
Oh, they still make those?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, weird. So
Yep.
they're almost caught up to each other, I guess.
No, they have caught up to. We caught up to Team 4-Star.
Oh, wow. But now we're going to get ahead of them, probably.
Now we're ahead of them, and we have no material, period.
Yeah, okay. I never saw it anyway.
You should.
Yeah, I heard it's pretty funny. I heard it's weird. I heard that it's like it's funny, but then they also are like take it seriously too. I don't really understand.
It depends on which part of the abridged series you watch. Because
it's not meant to be a parody. It's meant to be like a real thing.
It's unquestionably a parody, right? But the level of it goes from like just airplane in the Saiyan saga, just like kind of like that, to hey, this is Dragon Ball Z, but everyone kind of has humorous character depictions.
USS Majestic.
That's Roshi.
Although that's pretty true to character.
Yeah.
So everybody in the episode got back together, basically, and we're like all caught up now, I guess, with their like exposition. They're like, oh, now we know what's going on, except for Goku and Gohan, I guess.
Because when they come out of the hyperbolic time chamber, it's like, well, the plot is solved.
And they gave a flashback to all the people who have never watched the original Dragon Ball, because that's probably like the majority of the audience.
That was kind of cool. I mean, like that they would use footage from like a decade ago or whatever.
Oh god, that stuff is like 25 years old now.
Wow.
Or probably no, wait, shit. It has to be older because Dragon Ball is like 80s.
Yeah.
Shit, that stuff's older than me.
And then somebody in the thread said like remember when Piccolo like almost blew up this, something, and I was like, dude, he blew up the moon. I love that they gloss over that fact that the moon is gone because he one-shotted it in an episode, and that was like nobody even mentions it.
For some reason, I feel like it was off-screen replaced or something.
It probably does show up again, just because Toriyama forgets.
So this is just an entire episode of everyone hanging out at Bulma's house.
Yep. But then, okay, the other plot point, I guess, is that 16 is now on their side and is getting repaired.
Yes. 16 he fights for the birds.
They are pretty all kick-ass.
But he also likes pussies now.
I also like the part where I don't know the guy's name, but Bulma's dad or whatever, and he's like got the I don't know what it's like, and one of the androids spec sheets or whatever, and he's like, "Well, you're way more advanced than this. This thing's worthless, about as worthless as toilet paper," and he just walks on it. And I'm like, that's a weird thing to say.
Yep. Off screen, he wipes his ass with it.
I guess so.
And then he posts a NeoGAF about it.
Yep, and then
Man,
everyone
you guys
talks.
should.
Yeah,
If
I
you
have
haven't,
these schematics. What do I do with them?
if you haven't wiped your butt with worthless Android schematics, you haven't lived.
I'm sure there's some sort of convention item that has toilet paper with little pictures of the diagrams on it. If not, that needs to be a thing.
I'm vaguely reminded of this old NeoGAF bathroom thread where it was like, man, people should shove entire rolls of toilet paper up their butt and twirl it around more. There's like a Sunni Legend GIF out there that's great. Because of course. Oh yeah, remember when Sunni Legend was a thing? He doesn't do that stuff anymore.
He's a mod now, right?
No. It's you might be thinking of Lionel Mandrake,
Yeah, I am
who did
thinking
those
about
like thread recaps.
Yeah, I'm confusing him and Lionel.
Yeah. But no, he just kind of stopped. I guess he just didn't have the time anymore. Or he just looked into the abyss too long. It stares back at you. One Punch Man, episode number 6, The Terrifying City. In this episode, Saitama has no idea that he lives inside of an abandoned city.
You know, I thought that when I watched the series the first time, I thought that he didn't live in an abandoned city and that was just part of his like dream. Remember the dream sequence from the first episode?
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw this again and I'm like, oh wait, I guess he really does live in a mostly abandoned city.
Yeah,
Which does beg the question, where does he get his groceries?
Like he walks out of the abandoned city.
I guess.
I didn't really pick up on a lot of the stuff in this episode the first time, so I didn't really get. It was hard to tell otherwise that he actually lives in an abandoned city because it never is actually shown.
Yeah,
Like the clue is that the two A-class heroes walk right by his house, and Genesis is like, "Oh man, there are people," and then they walk away.
They walked by his house?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. I noticed that too. Because remember, he's got that overpass right next to his window or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Go ahead.
Okay, it was just harder to recognize apartments from each other as opposed to houses.
Well, you know, to be fair, I guess it might not have been, but I just assumed it was because that overpass.
Unquestionably was, because you still see the remnants of like the attack from the House of Evolution.
You're right. They did show, like, you could see where the mole guy got killed or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, that was his house.
Okay, I thought it was a different part of the city that they were in. It just Ganos' alarm was a lot further out.
Yeah. Then he just paves over the whole road. It's like, it looks nice again now that you don't have to see that this stuff is here to realize that's where we are. I can make it look nice again.
Yeah, these details actually make me appreciate the episode a little more, although it's still, I think, one of the weaker ones.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I believe this might be the weakest episode.
No,
I will say... Oh, go ahead.
I think the next episode is weaker, I think. That's not a very popular opinion, though.
Well, it has the one moment.
That is true.
It's more memorable than this one, in which case Saitama off-screen's a kelp guy.
Yeah, I didn't remember this episode very much, and so much so that I had completely forgotten that this was the episode that Tatsumaki, the tornado, first appeared.
I also forgot that detail.
Yeah.
I hate her.
You hate her or you like her?
Hate her.
You hate her. I think she's meant to be hated. That's her. She's designed to make you not like her, but I like her for that reason, I think.
I mean, later in the show, Saitama just walks by her and he just sums her up in one line.
Yeah, no spoilers, but she's pretty great in those scenes.
Well, I don't like her for the fact that I think there's elements here that she's obviously kind of pandering.
Yeah, I guess so. But I like those characters who she's got spunk. I guess it's kind of funny.
I will mention that the casting for the A rank heroes was on point this episode, as well as the monster whose name is, I think El Warden posted it, it was Combo Infinity. So I have to mention, it's a pretty cool name actually.
Combo Infinity. So
Yeah,
did that squid guy have a name?
Squid guy?
People were calling him Squid Girl. The guy that was basically that they ate.
Yeah.
You mean the seaweed guy?
Yeah.
That was Konbu Infinity.
Oh, that was him. Oh, okay. Konbu Infinity. Oh, I get it. Okay.
He was voiced by Mokuba from Yu-Gi-Oh!
It's actually quite fitting in this case.
Seto, shut up, Mokuba. That's a Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged series joke. The one that started it all.
What's up?
No. Oh, aren't they like doing a dub with Dan Green again?
For Dark Side of Dimensions, yeah.
Like the classic Yugi voice.
Yeah, he's reprising his role for the new movie that's coming out in 2017.
Be great if they got back Brooklyn Joey.
I mean,
because
most of the original actors are supposed to come back.
To be frank, I can't imagine Joey that's not from Brooklyn.
You have to mention that the trailers they put out, the animation is absolutely amazing.
For Yu-Gi-Oh?
No, just outright incredible. You need to see it.
Yeah.
Just like a high level of quality no matter what.
So now Digimon has come back, and now Yu-Gi-Oh is coming back.
And so on to Beyblades.
Did you know that? What was this that NeoGAF thread about? I don't remember what it was. Something about them being metal now.
No, well, the toys were always had like the metal parts, I think,
They had like metal balls for weights.
and like metal, like dull metal, blades.
Right.
Yeah, I can't believe those got sold to kids. And I also remember at one point in my childhood, I had an episode guide book for the Beyblade anime.
Did you have any actual Beyblades?
No, I just had this fucking book.
I had two of them. I even had an electronic launcher, an electronic Beyblade launcher.
Or I may have had some at some point, but that shit got thrown away, man.
The toys themselves weren't that bad quality, to be quite honest.
Like the Beyblade anime was like this kind of Pokemon-y Yu-Gi-Oh thing.
I mean, there are tons of those. There is Byakugan. There is, or Bakugan, not Byakugan. Byakugan.
The entire anime.
That's one crossover that would not. Well, I don't know. I would probably with
Byakuga from Bleach with a Byakugan.
with teen level shonen mixed with child level boy promotion, which would kill your brain faster.
Can you repeat that?
So you have standard teenage level advertised shonen like Naruto, combined with an anime that's marketed towards children, designed to sell the toys, and Bakugan, which would rot your brain out faster.
Isn't that just Toriko? Like, that's what Toriko is, the anime.
I've never heard of that.
Toriko is like the food Dragon Ball Z manga.
Oh,
And
that's
then
that show. I know you're talking about. I've never seen it either, but the one that's like Iron Chef anime.
No, that's Shokugeki no Soma.
Oh,
That also runs in Shonen Jump. Toriko is like just Dragon Ball Z with food.
Like food fights, or
Like, I have read a chapter of Toriko. It's bad and looks stupid. And the anime, Toei really tried to make it happen, but they really, like, censored the fuck out of it because they, like, targeted it at, like, 5-year-olds. But it was super violent. And so it was like, shit.
but it begs a question, and like Reggie Ruler said, like, what do they do? Do they throw food at each other?
No, it's kind of like a Dragon Ball Z-ish anime where the goal is to kill gigantic beasts and eat them as
What?
delicious food.
so like Monster Hunter.
Sure,
Okay.
maybe the one Toriko fan on ToonamiGAF is screaming at me. Who is the one Toriko fan on ToonamiGAF?
Yeah,
Probably
post.
B-dubs.
It would be B-dubs, wouldn't it? But yeah, this is probably the least noticeable episode of One Punch Man in the series, probably.
I can't actually. I think the 3 episodes after the arc that's coming up, the one in between the 2 arcs, I think that's pretty forgettable.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, that makes sense because it's forgettable.
Because you
But
have
no,
the
we're not.
Okay.
Like, next episode is episode 7. Then there's 8 and 9. Oh, yeah. Jeez. What the hell happened in episode 10? I forget.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. Mobile Suit Gundam, Iron-Blooded Orphans, episode 11, Human Debris. So, wouldn't it be ironic if, years and years ago, you and your brother got kidnapped by space pirates and separated? Wouldn't it just be ironic if you met up again in the vastness of fucking space? Immediately after talking about him?
I would have liked it more if they weren't being so obvious with the flashbacks right before it happened. They could have put that a little earlier in the series somehow.
Yeah, like they should have done that when they were still on Mars, right?
Yes. They should have.
This seems like an insert plot point. It was like, oh, we got to fill an extra episode here, so let's invent this. That's kind of what it felt like.
So the villains in the show continue to just be like, hey, you can tell that's a villain because they look nothing like a human.
Do these guys, like, am I reading too much into this, or are they supposed to be, like, genetically engineered to look like animals?
What, like Gurren Lagann?
Yeah, because, like, one guy is clearly supposed to be like a snake, and then the other guy is supposed to look like a pig, and I can't tell if it's just they're supposed to be literally made, like, using future technology to be that way, or if they're just like inbred or something, or if it's just terrible character design.
I'm gonna go with the inbreeding here.
I think let's go with inbred. That's the funniest.
Okay.
The snake people have been keeping the line strong for generations. The Joker snake people have been keeping the line strong.
I don't know why I said that. How does inbreeding lead to snake people? But maybe it does.
Well, it's inbreeding.
I mean, how many hundreds of years has it been since the whatever Calamity War or whatever they always
There's
talk
been
about?
some strange marriage practices afoot, so inbreeding isn't out of the question here.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. They've got harems. That's like a normal thing.
This ship was scattered into the space 100 years ago with only 2 people on it. Now there are 1,500.
And
You
then
do the math.
Let's not forget the child wives.
Yes. And then, oh yeah, that's a thing. That was in this episode. They showed off the dude's bride-to-be who was like 12.
So yeah, they go back home to like I don't know, fucking Prussia.
That's
That's another, Gundam politics. It's always like, all right, go back to when Prussia was a thing.
who cares a Stan?
Who cares? I did. Somebody said it in the thread, and I guess I kind of agree with them that okay, so yeah, we can all joke and be like, oh, that's creepy as shit that he's, engaged to this little girl. But I guess like somebody was like, yeah, but see, it's not like that. It's just like a political thing, and he's not really like attracted to her. And so
Oh no.
if you put it in that light, it's like, okay, I get it. In like 15 years or what, I'm sorry, like in 10 years he'll marry her or whatever, and then it'll just be a political marriage, and I'm like, okay, I guess. But it's just weird to have her like serving them tea and stuff. Like, I want to impress him. And I'm like, oh.
It's just too obvious to not make fun of.
Yeah, I get it. I just like, but I think we being ToonamiGAF just like to go to the next level and be like, oh, this is creepy. And I guess
like
it is. It's kind of creepy.
I like that one guy's like, they just cloned Flankroid Light and had him design all their houses.
That is funny, yeah.
So
I still think the harem outdoes it in the creepiness factor.
Especially just because it's dropped so nonchalantly, like, yes, I'm fucking all of these women.
But they all agreed to do that, though, and I bet I'm assuming they're all over 18.
Yeah.
Well, there's also the daycare that gets kind of weird.
Yes, I agree. The having the multiple children on the ship is a little weird. We're still talking about this, even though it happened like 4 episodes ago.
Well, we'll be talking about it literally the entire show.
Wow, okay.
At least until the entire ship gets blown up and is like, cut to inside the daycare. Vacuum of space. Because whenever the show wants to just kill off a whole bunch of people at one time, it's gonna be the turbines.
It could be. Although, again, if the highlight of drama this week was killing off a character we only just met, I guess they could just invent people to kill off as well.
What did they kill off?
Well, that brother or whatever, right?
No, he didn't die. He's still there.
Oh,
it was just that all the slaves were mad that Mikazuki killed their one dude.
Oh, okay. That's right. 'Cause at the end of the
slave.
episode, he looks up and he's like, "I'm here, brother."
Yeah.
Yeah. I think what I'm thinking of is during the episode, everybody's like, "Oh, that guy's dead."
Ironically, none of those 2 people who had like amazing death flags died.
Yeah, I love that. That was my favorite thing. Was everybody was like, "Raise your death flags."
The joke just writes itself.
It does. It's so good.
And of course, if this is the kind of subtlety we can expect to be treated to on future character deaths, we'll be making that joke many, many times.
One thing I noticed this episode too that I guess I had never noticed until now is that Mikizuki also has a hair blade. Did you know he has one on top, just like his big bro?
One of these days, they're just gonna pull it off and throw it at someone.
Yeah,
it's like, psych! This was actually a fucking weapon the whole time.
So there's another character who uses endless supplies of hair gel.
So Ein, that one dude, really wants to kill children. He's just like, I want nothing more in life than to kill those kids.
This could have all been... but his commanding officer told him straight why he was doing this. I feel like if you... I hate these kind of threads where it's all off of one big miscommunication.
Well, not even a miscommunication. This guy just... Well, I've got to be the villain, so I really want to kill these kids.
Which one was Ein?
The black-haired guy.
That's not going to help.
Kind of like this, the very plain black-haired guy who works for Gallarhorn, and he got teased for being a Martian by those other 2 douchebags.
Oh, okay.
And then he's just like, I'll deal with it. I just want to kill kids. Very creepy. He's probably the final boss. He'll probably fuse himself with a machine or something.
That'd actually be pretty cool.
Yeah, become a Gundam.
I'm pretty sure it'll be... I mean, if it happens, it'll be very stupid, though.
Have we seen another Gundam yet, or is there just the one?
I think it's just the one so far.
Okay.
The Snake Guy was supposed to have a suit that's pretty close to a Gundam.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like it looks like the Zaku's from other Gundam shows. I think.
It's the closest we've seen to an actual Gundam so far.
It looks like a Ninja Turtle.
It's hammer time!
Looks like Donatello.
Gundam Tello.
Hunter x Hunter, episode 17, Trap in the Hole. I'm tired of these motherfucking snakes in this motherfucking hole.
So we got to see Ponzu finally, and I don't know what is happening in this show, but I think it looks like she was hunting that guy, and I guess he died, and then she was like, "Well, I'm screwed because now I'm stuck in here."
My biggest peeve was that they assumed Tompa wasn't lying.
Yeah,
Like,
when has he not lied?
Like, you could just give BS about what Leorio's badge number was.
Although I guess if he's doing the whole deception, he might as well just tell the truth, because then, he's telling the truth.
But Reggie Ruler's right. There's not been any reason to believe anything Tompa says. Like, I wouldn't have believed him. Like, I'm surprised they bought it.
Well, the thing is that everyone except Leorio has been they've had him down, basically from the beginning. Like, they can see through this bullshit immediately.
Oh, yeah, that's true, I guess.
And so Kurapika probably was like, yeah, he's telling the truth about this Ponzu thing.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I hope someone just asks, what's in that ball on your head, Ponzu? And she's like, oh, flesh-melting gas. Because I work with chemical weapons.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just use a gas bomb on the snakes or something?
Because she sucks.
Why don't they just, dig up?
Because they're just dudes.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Haley,
Well, go ahead.
the Oreo strategy was, I've got a knife.
Yeah, that was weird. I didn't even comment on that, but I was going to, and it's basically so. I can't tell how good a hunter Leorio would make, because everybody else has a skill or something like that, and he's just a guy with a knife.
He's severely outclassed right now.
I guess so. I mean, it definitely feels that way. I don't get an impression he'll ever be better. That's the thing.
Yeah, I don't think he ever does.
Oh, weird.
I think he actually remains as guy with a knife forever.
Weird.
Just very, very lucky with very powerful friends, guy with a knife.
Does anyone else think that Ponzu looks like a character from Dragon Ball?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Actually,
She looks like Bulma with a stupid hat.
It's like her color scheme and the hat, just something about her just makes her look like she ought to be in DBZ or something.
Or Dragon Quest, that's close enough.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I
She'd
changed
fit
my
right
mind.
in.
That's actually what it is. Dragon Quest.
Yep. Did anything else happen in this episode?
Those three idiots tried to get Killua's badge.
Oh yeah, the fodder squad.
Yeah. It's like, let's go, team of 3 dudes with shirts and lines under their eyes. Get into the formation.
What was that?
Their unbeatable attack. And I
Our
thought they were.
unbeatable formation.
And I thought they were. And I was half hoping they would start charging up an elemental tri-attack or something, just to subvert expectations a little. But no.
What were they going to do? Just charge them?
Yeah, they were going to literally say, "Get him!" And then he would just kill all of them. It's like, but our unbeatable formation.
I mean, really,
How the fuck did those guys even get this far?
I know. I was going to say the same thing, and then I don't even.
I know how the Oreo got this far. He's got Killua and Kurapika and Gon to lean on.
Yes. These 3 guys, if their special technique is that there's 3 of them, that's pretty weak.
Our special technique: get in a triangle. It's unbeatable.
Works for TN.
This formation has never failed on, like, rats
I guess
and small children.
And then he throws the badge. He notices Hanzo, and then he swaps the badge just to fuck with him.
is that guy's name?
Hanzo is literally just Saitama.
Is his name really Hanzo?
Yes.
I thought you guys were just joking about that.
No, his name is Hanzo.
Because isn't Hanzo like a ninja from like a fighting game?
I think Hanzo's traditional name. It's used for a lot of things.
Isn't Hanzo an Overwatch character?
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Well, I was thinking of like a samurai showdown or something like that. Like I know there's an old fighting game where there's a ninja guy named Hanzo.
Even people who have never heard a Japanese word before immediately conjure the correct image into their head when they hear the word Hanzo.
Probably.
It's just like, oh yeah, that's the guy.
I did like that though. I liked that because I got fooled as a viewer. I didn't realize that he was tricking them.
And Killua just did that just to be a dick.
Yeah, there was no actual reason because Hanzo wasn't antagonistic towards him at all. So I thought that was kind of mean.
Hanzo's not the guy who's going around just killing people to get their badges.
To give Killua credit, though, he could have easily killed those three guys, but he didn't kill anybody. So I guess they're not trying to paint him as a mass murderer.
They're not doing a terribly good job of that.
He did cut off that one guy's head in the blimp.
Yeah.
But that guy, well, he was just an asshole, so whatever.
Now he has 2 holes.
He has an extra where his head used to be.
He has 2 extra holes. One on the bottom of his head, and one where his head used to be. That was this episode of Hunter x Hunter. Naruto Shippuden, episode 124, Art.
Is that actually
I swear to God that Naruto Shippuden has like the worst episode titles on the block.
Was that the actual episode title?
Yes, it's literally just called Art.
Well, you know what I think? I think this episode was pure art because that's what it was called, not because it's actually any good.
It's firmly in the 4Kids school of naming conventions. Just a one-word title based on something that happens in the episode.
We don't even see the titles in an episode. I think this version just doesn't show it.
Well,
they're in Japanese.
Yeah, I was going to say sometimes they show it, but it's in Japanese in the lower right-hand corner.
I wish they had I wish they would have little subtitles underneath it or whatever.
Yeah.
I've seen versions of the show do that.
Viz Media. Who fucking cares?
Yeah, they did that with Final Act. They had times where Final Act was missing subtitles.
I don't remember any of Final Act.
Oh, have you erased it from your meringue?
Yes.
I liked it. It was all right.
Have I erased it from my meringue? Yes. I erased it from the lemon meringue I made last night. Anyway, so Deidara really wants to be cool, but his ultimate attack is just a gigantic version of him that gets really fat.
No, that wasn't his ultimate technique. His ultimate technique was nanomachines.
Well, they were both nanomachines.
Yeah, his ultimate attack turned into nanomachines.
His ultimate attack is, I'm a ball now.
And the Sharingan can see things at the molecular level.
Well, to be fair, I think the color explanation is fine.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, I mean, you can accept that he can see the chakra.
But they don't do that in the show. They let us see it. They let us see things at the cellular level.
Sure.
They could have just had him glow or something, I guess.
Yep. I mean, what can't the Sharingan do? Eventually the answer becomes literally nothing.
Why aren't the Uchiha clan like just ruling everyone in this world? They apparently have the power. Oh, did they? Okay, well, again, I'm
Because
showing my...
that's the plot. That's Sasuke's story. Itachi killed all of them except for him.
All right. I'm showing my Naruto ignorance here. But yeah, super powerful.
Of course, that begs the question, how could Itachi kill all of them? One guy.
Sharingan.
The answer is he's fucking Ninja Jesus, as the completely recycled flashback scene showed us yet again.
Yeah, that had me rolling. But they literally recycled the exact same scene. I think the only difference is that they started it a little later and then extended it a lot later.
Yes. And we got another week of Sasori saying, huh, this guy is a guy who dies early.
That's
Sasori is the first one who dies.
I lost count of how many times that dude said art.
Art.
I still don't understand how he has hands in the middle of his palms.
And on his chest, we learned.
Because he's a villain in Naruto, and they just have that kind of stuff.
I will say that the unstitching did have me wincing quite a bit because that looked pretty painful.
Yeah, and to be fair too, I thought like his final blowing up attack. I guess he set off a nuke of himself. It looked cool. I mean, it looked cool when he was just turning into just veins and stuff. But yeah, I don't get that either. Like, I don't understand why his thing is mouths on his body. Like, I don't understand that.
It gets the fangirls really hot and bothered. Because those mouths just spew out sticky white stuff.
They kind of do.
That's his character.
But what do you think that was supposed to be? Like, is that just made up garbage, or is there like a reason that a guy would have hands or mouths on his body like that?
I'm sure there's some very obscure Japanese folklore thing that's...
No, I think the actual reason is this guy is a major villain. So he has mouths on his hands.
I'm with Reggie Ruler. There could probably be some like weird Japanese folklore guy who had multiple mouths or something.
Sure.
And just incorporated it very loosely somehow.
Yeah. And then added in clay. I thought it was funny too that his levels of destruction were like C1, C2, C3, and C4. Just like freaking real bombs.
And C4 was just nanomachines.
Yep.
I will say that they tried to play him off as desperate in that way. That kind of worked because he did seem very desperate.
Yeah, I thought the final scene was all right. Like, it's just him. He's like, I'm gonna if I can't defeat you, I'm taking you with me, and he's gonna blow up. And I guess that was a cliffhanger because I actually don't remember. I think he's like blowing up the forest, and we don't know what happened.
I think the image of the explosion was supposed to look like that nuke he used on the hidden sand, wasn't it?
Oh, I don't remember that. You might be right.
No, because that nuke wouldn't have been nearly as powerful.
Well, I'm just saying it looked like it has the same shape.
Yeah.
Yeah, kinda. The problem with that is that once again his reasons for fighting Sasuke are stupid as fuck.
Yeah, that's true.
It just kind of boils down to the eyes. God, those eyes.
I guess I'm going to take a wild guess here and assume that the Sharingan will somehow save Sasuke.
Yeah, that's probably a good bet.
Well, you could bet on some other bullshit saving Sasuke. Because it is Sasuke.
His hawk hands will somehow save him.
He just turns into a log and he's just like actually been 5 miles away the whole time. It's like, haha, substitution jutsu, motherfucker.
Hey, I just have to throw this out there. This is a little off topic, but I was watching a more recent episode of One Piece, and a character in that episode used a thing that was very similar to a substitution jutsu, so much so that when he teleported away, there was a log, just like in Naruto.
Yeah, ninja logs are
that entire
an actual
character
thing.
is just a Naruto reference.
What did you say, Reggie Ruler?
I think ninja logs are an actual gag thing.
Like
Because
multiple series have that?
I feel like it. 'Cause I
Okay.
think it has a page on TV Tropes.
Oh, really? Okay. It's the only other time I've seen it outside of Naruto, but that's interesting. So maybe it shows up in other places.
Oh wait, no, that can't be the character I'm thinking of because that character hasn't even been in the anime yet.
Yeah, I don't want to go into it. We're talking like 12 arcs later, so whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. Jeez.
Oh, wow, yeah, that's definitely it. Ninja log. Funny.
The other thing is that there was like an entire 6-minute part of this episode where Sasuke was just explaining the entire plot of the fight. Like, everything I did, I knew from the start. Everything!
And entirely revolved around an inverse elemental relationship as opposed to Pokemon.
Yeah, it was Pokemon.
Basically, a whole bunch of talking just to say, lightning is super effective against Earth for some reason.
I kind of want to like the fact that they revealed that Sasuke, who seemed so desperate earlier in the episode, was actually like already had everything planned out. But then I just remember I just don't like Sasuke, and so I don't like that he's so unrealistically clever like that.
Yeah.
Kind of Aizen-ish.
That's the magical bullshit of the Sharingan for you.
Very bleachy episode.
One Piece, episode 358. Blazing Knight Sanji, kick down the fake wedding. In this episode, Oars goes swimming, and Sanji just kind of goofs around a bit. And there's also a Scooby-Doo door scene with Usopp and Kumasi.
Yeah, and yeah.
Finally, it happened.
That had to be deliberate, right? Like, that has to be Oda having seen Scooby-Doo, right?
I mean, you could probably find that page on TV Tropes as well. In fact, let me search for it right now.
Scooby-Doo doors or something like that?
We'll see.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess that's like, do you think that was Oda giving homage to Scooby-Doo or just a crazy coincidence?
Door roulette, yes.
There it is. It literally is Scooby-Doo doors. I totally pulled that out of my butt. That's what it's called.
Or is it? Gee,
no,
okay.
I just got the
Scooby-Doo doors. Here
That's
it is.
what it's called. I know.
I was on a different trope page.
All right, now I got to see. Does it show up in One Piece here? Is it listed? Yep, there it is. It's the second bullet under anime and manga. In Thriller Bark, for a chase scene where Perona's minion, they called him Bearsy. Anyway, chases Usopp through a forest of pillars. Yeah.
That is literally the literal translation of Kumasi.
Is it? Oh, I guess Kuma is bear.
I mean, Kuma is bear. I remember it happening in Teen Titans that one time, and it's hilarious there. Because it's like that episode with Mad Mod, the crazy British guy. And it's like, instead of doors, it's also like dots on the ground and the ceiling.
Oh, we also got to see, for the first time in this episode, Doppelman.
Oh yeah, Doppelman. Kira.
Yeah.
Moria, I was about to call him Kira, holy shit.
Oh, why?
I can't stop thinking about JoJo this week, sorry. But Moria he's been sitting in that spot for so many episodes, he's just not gonna fucking move. Not even to fight.
No. So Doppelman is his shadow that he uses to fight, so he doesn't have to get off his ass. But he's just not interested. He's just like, he wants to rule the world without having to move a muscle. And
his whole thing is that he's like, I will get so many powerful minions that I won't have to do shit.
Yeah. And then the other move he shows off is that he can turn Doppelman into something he calls brick bats, which are just little bats, basically, that will attack.
Yeah, and it's like, oh no, dots!
Yep. Out comes the Gum Gum Gatling, and then, rinse and repeat.
I feel like this segment of the fight repeats like several times.
Kind of does, yeah.
And I mean, in future episodes.
Yeah. Yeah. It gets better though.
Like it's the classic One Piece thing where Luffy's fight takes the entire all the other fights happen at the same time as Luffy's fight. It's just that Luffy's fight goes on forever.
It's because Luffy, it takes him a long time to realize that he needs to do something other than his normal punches before he'll win.
Like he has a psychic connection. It's like, well, Zoro beat his guy. I guess I can actually win.
Yeah. It's time for me to win now. It actually turns out a little differently here. I think it's good.
I don't like how
Yeah, don't talk
the
about
Luffy
it yet.
part of this ultimate fight. I don't like how it ends up because it's kind of Deus Ex Machina-ish.
Yeah, I guess, but it's different.
Although, considering recent developments in the manga, maybe not.
Yeah. Now we're going too far.
Now we're going way too far.
We're going too far with the spoils, man. Let's not go there.
Going too far.
Did anything else happen? I mean, obviously, we didn't talk about Sanji getting doughy-eyed over seeing Nami in a wedding dress over and over and over.
Oh, God. This... Once again, everything involving Absalom is the worst. And then Toei the title for the next episode, they just drop on this quote-unquote cliffhanger of Sanji being like, oh yeah, we go back a long way. And then the next title for the next episode is the stupidest thing ever.
Yeah, it basically tells you exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah. It just ruined Sanji's character almost entirely.
Yeah.
Like at this point, he is completely transformed into complete butt monkey.
I wouldn't go that far. I think they just play up the pervert aspect of him a little too far. I'm not, I'll say this much. I really like One Piece, and I've gotten into it a ton lately because I'm like watching it constantly. But of all the Straw Hats, Sanji definitely is my least favorite. He's just kind of there. Didn't do it for me.
Sanji is the one who it's like it depends on how he's used. If he's if he's being lame in an arc, he's really lame.
Yeah.
Like super lame. And unfortunately, there's a long period of time, basically starting now, where he is just lame all the time.
Mm.
And that's really unfortunate. But I think otherwise in this episode, we had nothing much else.
Yeah, Oars is just putzing around, still wants to be king of the pirates.
Oars is just filling some screen time. Let's walk out to the beach and then walk back. Yay! That's One Piece for tonight. So I guess we're done. So.
We can always talk about Parasite again.
No.
I usually stay up and watch Parasite, but actually I think I did cut off this week. I was like, I'm too tired. So I don't even remember what episode it was. Is it the one where the detective died?
Yes.
Okay.
The title is literally The Adventure of the Dying Detective.
Oh, okay.
So and the next one was where the female parasite gets shot?
Yes, they both die this episode, I think.
Oh, what is it?
Or no. I think she might die next episode.
Okay, so the previous episodes were the kind of the good section of the show.
This is like the last good part of the show. No, because like this part with the detective and the... Basically from the moment... I agree with Seda that basically the moment What's-Her-Face dies to the end of that fight with Goto in the, mayor's office is the good part of Parasite.
Yeah.
And then the stuff after that is really bad. And the stuff before that is take it or leave it.
Was that stuff after that? Was that a Gecko ending, or was that like the manga ending?
I'm pretty sure that was the manga ending.
Huh.
It was an 80s thing.
Okay. Was this the episode where the dude got home and his family was murdered?
That might have been last episode.
I mean, I remember that and being like, damn, that's pretty cold. Like, I felt bad.
We told you.
That guy had it rough. You think normally in a show like this, that character would something good would happen to him, or he would somehow have a comeback or something. But this guy his life is ruined, and then it ends.
Yep.
And then it ends.
The real world is harsh and cruel and unforgiving. Eat Arby's. That'll be all for episode 21 of the ToonamiGAF podcast. Thank you, C. Caller.
My pleasure.
Hope that stuff you're talking about turns out really cool.
We'll find out.
And thank you, Reggie Ruler.
For the king, for the lands, for the mountain. All right.
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, explain that, please. What was that?
Okay, I just felt like singing a little bit. That was from an old Rhapsody song.
Okay.
Okay, sure. We'll see you guys next week for episode number 22. Good night.
Signing out.